OVC Media Day presented by CenterPoint Energy continues. Joining us from Nashville, Casey Alexander, head coach at Belmont. Coach, good to see you.
Hey, it's great to be with you.
Hey, it's been a while. Let's talk a little bit about some items throughout the last 8 or 9 months. Lots of things have gone on in our country, and I want to get to the presidential debate here in just a moment as well. But let's go back to some times that were not so fun. You leave Evansville, and you're going to the NCAA tournament, and that changed within a matter of days. Kind of take us through that progression of what happened there in March.
Well, the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, as far as our team is concerned. We cut down the nets and experienced that great trip to Evansville, which nobody can take away from us, and certainly gave us unbelievable memories for that team. And then within, just a few short days later, following practice, we find out our season is over, and it was devastating at the time. Obviously, in hindsight, there was no other decision to be made, and we picked up the pieces and we've moved on.
So what has moving on been like through this period? I mean, we were joking about Zoom meetings. That's all the norm anymore. But take us through how you kept contact with this team. When did you see them? How long of a gap was it?
Yeah, well, it was a roller coaster like it has been for every other school and program, to say the least. And but we did not see our players until they moved back on campus in August. August the 23rd, I think, is when they came back. We were hopeful for June, then we were hopeful for July, then we were hopeful for August, then then it ended up being late August, and so we've tried to make the most of the time that we've had since then. Naturally, there's been a lot going on in our country, and so that's been challenging. But you know what? It's just the cards were dealt right now, and we're handling it okay.
So how did you do during the presidential debates?
Well, the debates were great for Belmont. There's no doubt that all eyes literally across the world were on that presidential debate. And for us to host it was a spectacular event. Belmont did it really well. For me personally, I didn't get in the debate. I couldn't even come in the office for about a week before the debate. So they kicked me as far away as they could.
I did want to talk a little bit more about details about that. Give me a great story associated with it other than being kicked out of the office. I mean, surveillance, those types of things I'm always intrigued
Yeah,
by.
I think unless you're in the middle of it, which I'm actually not in the middle of it, but I could witness it, on a daily basis. There's so much work that goes into it, and Belmont's people did a phenomenal job along with the election commission, and our campus was transformed completely. It's literally starting 3 or 4 weeks out before the debate. We had grounds that were covered and tents up everywhere, and security at an all-time high. And but then when you see the motorcades come through, you realize this is a pretty big deal, and we pulled it off spectacularly.
And 2 times in a row, I might add.
Yeah, 2008 was the last one, and then this one in 2020. And so, I imagine as long as they'll let us keep doing it, we'll do it.
We'll keep you on the short list. All right, basketball. There's something like that coming up as well. Talk a little bit about this team. You've got a tournament championship team coming back. For the most part, you have one big subtraction, but talk about where this roster is today.
It's an interesting team because I feel like we have a lot of experience on this team. We've got 5 juniors that will actually all graduate in May, and they've been around. They're all 4th-year juniors, as a matter of fact. And but we have no seniors. So on one hand, I feel like we're really experienced. On the other hand, we literally don't have a senior on our roster. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag. I love the pieces we have. I think we have what it takes to be competitive and play for championships, but that's a lot easier for me to say. What we end up going out and to do on the court is all that really matters at this point.
Okay, you've been through 2 cycles of this OVC. What's your take on where this conference is?
Well, I'll just say that, on paper, this is going to be a heck of a year for this league. Regardless of what it looked like in the past or last year, what we're staring at right now is a heck of a league. A lot of teams that have every right to believe they're going to have a great season, have every right to believe they have the pieces that it takes to be a championship team. I'm glad that we're one of those, but it's going to be a competitive league. I'll be surprised if the conference champion, can race through the league without getting bumped a time or two or maybe more.
20 times at
Yeah.
that. So what's your thought of that 20 game schedule?
I mean, it's necessary. I think all of us as coaches, we were prepared for whatever the league office threw our way, whether it was stay at 18, go to 20, go to 22. I think it's helpful actually. I think the more conference games you play, the better. Obviously, there you get one extra home game, you get one extra road game, and so the gauntlet's pretty tough. I mean, it's such a grind, no matter what conference you're in. Conference play is a real grind because of familiarity and just the stakes are so high for so long. But gives us something to look forward to. We're excited about it.
Tell the fans what you've been able to put together pre-conference.
Yeah, well, we had a big curveball when we lost our opportunity to go play in the Orlando Showcase, which was a real signature event for our program against an unbelievably high-powered field. And so we've had to scramble a little bit, try to put something together. We're going to open up in Washington, D.C. in a really nice event, what was the Paradise Jam originally. So we'll play George Mason, Northeastern, and Howard in that event. And then we moved our 2 flex games with Tennessee State to in December. We'll play them on December 2nd and 8th. It's not non-conference, but it's early, and then kind of our traditional opponents. We got Lipscomb. We're playing Evansville, Sanford, Kennesaw. That pretty much wraps it up.
This season in particular, what are your expectations about not having an off season for the most part, or preseason for the most part? Do you have to temper your expectations? What's your approach to what's about to happen?
Yeah, I don't think you temper expectations. I do think you have to be a little bit more realistic about, what we're facing. And not the least of which is the fact that we anticipate not getting to play all our games, now which ones and how many and against who, and, those are all things out of our control. But I think all of us have learned to just make the most of what we have. And it's so different than any other year in life, but even in coaching, where coaches work really hard to get all their ducks in a row, whether that's scheduling or roster or preseason and you name it. And that's all been flipped upside down. So we've all learned what really matters, and that's the players on our team and the opportunity to play. And even though it's going to look different than we would ever sign up for, just give us that chance and let us go do it.
Your body, I've been talking to a lot of coaches, your body, your mind, you've been a coach a very long time. It sees November and it's like days are shorter. Why are we not playing? So I can kind of see that. I wanted to go back just a moment to roster some new additions and some new names we should be looking for besides Moose.
Well, I mean, with Nick Muszynski and Grayson Murphy, obviously two exceptional players, all conference guys last year, and they will have to carry us, and I anticipate they will. They both want that challenge and are ready for that. And then it's going to be kind of contribution by committee. I think we have a lot of guys that are ready to expand their role. You look at a guy like Caleb Hollander, who, as a freshman, his first 15 games as a true freshman a couple of years ago, he was phenomenal, and he's kind of been bothered by injury and illness ever since then, but he's ready. He's played really well. You got a guy like Ben Shepard, who I think is going to have a great career here, who was a total support role last year, but he's going to have an increased role. So, I like our depth. I like our balance. I feel good about the guys that we have.
Coach, you're really making me feel old when you mentioned Grayson Murphy, because I went to undergrad school with his father, so that'll date us all there as well. So nonetheless, what a great addition, and what a great kid, great family, and also had a really big shot a while back, I believe, too. So that was fantastic. Coach, thanks for your time so much. We appreciate it. Congratulations on all the Belmont stands for in this state and in this conference. And we're glad to have you along and can't wait to see your team play.
It's a real pleasure. Thanks. I've enjoyed it.